Hey there, fast food fans. Today we're diving into the deliciously iconic world of big boy restaurants. From Hollywood cameos to Stan Lee comics, this place has got more history and charm than you can shake a burger at. With over 70% national recognition, the chubby little boy in overalls holding a juicy burger is a true fast food icon. But what's the juicy story behind Big Boy's success? What makes this burger and fry joint stand out from the crowd? Get ready to sink your teeth into the fascinating history of big boy restaurants. Where it all began. It all started in 1936 when Bob Wien, a burger visionary from Glendale, California, sliced a bun into 3 sections and shoved 2 patties in between them. Boom! The double-decker Big Boy Burger was born, and people couldn't get enough. Bob renamed his joint Bob's Big Boy, and the rest is fast food history. But wait, it gets better. The Elias brothers took notice and decided to bring Big Boy to the Midwest. They opened up a shop in Hazel Park, Michigan in 1952 and started slinging those delicious burgers to hungry Midwesterners. By 1964, they had over 100 Elias Brothers Big Boy locations across Michigan and Ohio. That's a whole lot of burger. And let's not forget about Milwaukee, where the first Big Boy popped up in 1958. They must have been excited to finally try that famous double-decker burger. Even famous artists paid a visit to Big Boy in 1965, with the Adventures of Big Boy comic strip added to its charm. I know you're wondering who these famous artists are. Well, be glued because you don't want to be left out of this. However, let's not forget the real stars of the show, the iconic dishes. The double-decker burger with special sauce and gooey American cheese, and the strawberry pie that has inspired countless copycats. Is your mouth watering yet? Sadly, all things must come to an end. The Marcus Corporation bought Mark's Big Boy franchise in 1989 and eventually distanced itself from the Big Boy image. By 1995, the last Big Boy in the state closed its doors. But wait, there's hope. After 26 years, rumors of Big Boy's return to the area are swirling. So get ready to welcome back this iconic brand like it never left. It's time to get your burger fix once again. The Beatles once dined at Bob's Big Boy. When the Beatles came to America in 1965, they had one mission: to experience a real American diner. And where did they end up? None other than Bob's Big Boy in Burbank, California. Legend has it that they wanted to sink their teeth into a juicy burger and see what all the fuss is about. And boy, were they in for a treat. Not only did they get to chow down on some delicious burgers, but they also met the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Presley. Talk about a trip to remember. Nowadays, the Beatle booth at that very same Bob's Big Boy is a must-visit spot for fans. But beware, the wait can be longer than the Hey Jude song. Moving on. The Big Boy founder invented the double-decker hamburger. What's the secret sauce behind Big Boy's success? Sure, there were plenty of burger joints around when it first opened its doors, but none quite like this. The answer lies in the iconic Big Boy Burger, dreamed up by founder Bob Wien in 1937. Legend has it that Wien was inspired by a group of hungry musicians who wanted something different. He sliced his buns into 3, loaded them up with 2 juicy patties, cheese, lettuce, and red relish sauce, and the double-decker burger was born. And the rest, as they say, is history. The Big Boy Burger was so groundbreaking that it even inspired McDonald's double-decker burger, the Big Mac, created by franchise operator Michael James Delegati in 1967. Delegati himself admitted that he was simply following in Big Boy's footsteps, saying, "All I did was screw in the socket." Talk about a burger revolution. Surprisingly, Frisch's Big Boy isn't a part of the Big Boy restaurant group anymore. If you've ever tried to bond with someone over your shared love of Big Boy, you might have hit a snag. That's because Big Boy restaurants go by many names across the country. While Southern California locals know and love Bob's Big Boy, those in the Midwest might have grown up with Frisch's Big Boy or even Abdow's or Shoney's. So, what gives? As it turns out, Big Boy has changed hands multiple times over the years, and most locations are franchises. Frisch's Big Boy, however, is a bit of an outlier. While they once bought the rights to the Big Boy name, they're now independently operated and not affiliated with Big Boy Restaurants International LLC. They own the trademark in parts of the Midwest and South, and in return, gave up their franchise rights to other regions. That means they can run their own Big Boy restaurants without answering the main company. It's a complicated situation, but one thing's for sure, no matter where you are, there's a Big Boy burger waiting for you. Well, it seems too much that you don't know about Big Boy. Anyway, that's why we're here. And if you like to learn about the history of your favorite eateries, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. Amazingly, the Big Boy is based on a real little boy. After the success of his double-decker hamburger, Bob Whean was inspired to give it a name after a little boy named Richard Woodruff, who loved the burgers so much he would do chores for the restaurant in exchange for free burgers. Whean called the boy Big Boy and eventually named his burger after him. The popularity of the burger led to Whean changing the name of his restaurant to Bob's Big Boy. Woodruff kept the nickname Big Boy, which suited him even into adulthood, as he stood at 6'6" and weighed 300 pounds. Woodruff passed away in 1986, but he lives on as a local legend. Glendale councilwoman Ginger Bremberg said that Woodruff has more immortality than the rest of us, and that his memory will endure for generations. The movie Heat filmed scenes at a Bob's Big Boy. The Big Boy statue, with its wide grin and checkered overalls, has become an iconic symbol of American roadside culture. Even if you've never set foot inside a Big Boy restaurant, you've probably seen the statue standing tall out front. But did you know that Big Boy has also played a role in Hollywood? The Big Boy in Burbank, California, was the backdrop for several scenes in the classic crime film Heat, starring Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. And the Big Boy in Downey, California, was featured in multiple movies and TV shows, including Mad Men and What's Love Got to Do with It. But the story gets even more interesting. The Downey location was originally a diner called Johnny's Broiler, which was torn down in 2007. However, Big Boy acquired the land and rebuilt the diner using the original building plans and salvage materials. Today, a Big Boy restaurant stands on that very same spot, preserving a piece of American history and Hollywood magic. There's a car show every Friday at the Burbank Bob's Big Boy. It's interesting to note that the car hop culture at Big Boy was not unique to the chain. In the 1950s and 1960s, drive-ins and car hops were popular ways to enjoy a meal in the United States, with many chains and independent restaurants adopting the concept. Actually, some Big Boy locations even host weekly classic car shows and cruise nights. Bob's Big Boy in Burbank, California is particularly famous for its weekly car show, which attracts celebrities like Brian Wilson and Jay Leno. And on the weekends, the restaurant even offers a car hop service, allowing customers to relive the days of drive-in dining. Other Southern California Big Boy locations in Northridge, Glendale, and Sun Valley also offer cruise nights on various nights of the month. It's a fun way to step back in time and enjoy classic cars and classic burgers all in one place. Stan Lee once wrote a Big Boy comic series. Did you know that Stan Lee, the comic book legend, worked on the Adventure of Big Boy comic series alongside other notable artists such as Bill Everett, Saul Brodsky, and Dan DeCarlo? The series, which debuted in 1956, featured the iconic Big Boy character from the restaurant's logo and sculptures. The original illustrations were created by Ben Washam, a Warner Brothers animator who sketched a caricature of a 6-year-old Richard Woodruff over lunch. The restaurant handed out copies of the comic book to children who dined there, and it quickly became a hit. In fact, it's one of the longest-running comic book series in history, with some issues selling over 1 million copies. Unlike other comics that were criticized for violence or censorship by the Comics Code Authority, The Adventure of Big Boy was considered a wholesome and family-friendly option. It's possible that this contributed to its success over the years. So while Stan Lee is famous for creating characters like Spider-Man and the X-Men, he also played a role in bringing Big Boy to life in comic book form. Now it's time for a little quiz. Who do you think inspired the name Big Boy for the famous double-decker burger and restaurant chain? Was it A, a loyal customer who loved sweeping floors for free burgers? Or B, the founder's childhood friend who was tall and chubby? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to support our channel.